Have you ever noticed that when there's a clog in your drain, the water level between your kitchen sinks equalizes? Through the magic of plumbing, and again, I'm not a plumber, the drain pipes from each of the sinks are connected, and so when there's a clog farther down the line, they equalize the water between them. For a little bit of context, my name's Jonathan. I'm a father of 4, a husband of 1. It's Monday today, and I mean it. It's Monday. We slept in until it was time to leave the house. Quickly woke the children. The eldest was already awake, had eaten breakfast and gotten dressed, but hadn't thought to stir anyone else. We shoveled food into their mouths. We put clean clothes on them. Thankfully, we'd bathed them all last night and jammed them into the van. Have you ever had one of those mornings? Mondays, right? If we each have a tub that holds our anxious worries and fears, we need to also be mindful that our tubs are connected to one another's in meaningful ways. That is, to the tubs of those we are emotionally bonded with, our family members, our work colleagues, our close friends. When we're present to those people and they're present to us, our anxiety levels rise and fall together. Maybe a parent comes home from work stressed out of their mind. Everyone in the family feels it as they walk in the door. Maybe a well-loved colleague has just been promoted out of the department. It may be positive for them, but the uncertainties of that person's absence and perhaps of a fresh face to replace them in their role, that takes its toll on everybody. Everyone feels it together, and the anxiety goes up together. In our house, when my wife and I start calling kids to get up, they register the panic in our voices, the desperation and the urgency. They're often very slow to listen. If you have children, you've experienced this. But when there's that tone in our voice, they listen and snap to it. Through verbal and nonverbal communication, they pick up on the heightened stress in the house. And the stress level equalizes across every one of us. That's why when you're overwhelmed and you get together with your closest friends for a cry fest, you feel relief. Their tubs were emptier than yours, and yours has equalized with theirs. Their anxiety levels have risen slightly, yours has dropped. And so it's helpful to have people in our lives whom we can equalize with. It lets us blow off steam and keeps us from boiling over. But what do we do when we can't be with all of the people that we're used to being with? What do we do when we lose those outlets and those inlets? Because let's be honest, we're used to being there for the people we love, as well as being used to having them be there for us. How do we cope without those contacts? I suggested last week that you make a plan to build a greater drainage system. And I'll say the same now. What plans have you put in place? Are you going for walks? Are you doing crossword puzzles? Are you praying? We're many faceted creatures, and you need to build resilience into your personal, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual resources so that the anxiety drains rather than your capacity for life. The internal character strengths, the qualities that will serve us well through this time of heightened stress and stressors are things like compassion, joyfulness, peacefulness, patience, gentleness, kindness, loyalty, humility, self-control. These are the things that the world needs more of, that society needs more of, that we each personally need more of. These qualities are each in themselves drains for our anxiety tubs. Their ability to function and let our inner turmoil drain is related to how developed they are in us. For me, It is as I'm mindful of Jesus' presence with me each day, as I'm aware of his mercy towards me in every moment, and of the gratefulness that springs from that intimate knowledge. As I spend time with him, he builds me up in each of these ways and so many others that drain off my anxieties, which helps me to bring an emptier tub, a calmer presence to my family and colleagues, which helps them to live lives that are a little calmer too. And as I said last week, sometimes the best thing we can bring to a situation is our calm. And this is one of those seasons.